Hey everybody, Josh the RV Nerd here at HaylettRV with a little weekly word from the nerd to talk to you about how the lowest payment is not always the best payment. That's something that is a lot of people are going to go, this guy's an idiot. Hear me out. Um, this is kind of the third part of my three-part segment on like spotting the best deal. Okay, so let's say whether you do or don't have a trade, you watched my previous two segments and you've identified the right deal for you. Congratulations, you found the right trailer. Yay, we're going camping. Awesome. Um, Most people are not just going to write a check for one of these things. I wouldn't. You know, that's my trailer right there. You know, I didn't just drop a big old fat stack of cash on the table. Would have loved to. Haven't reached that point in my life. I got a little more work to do. Anyway, most of us, we have a little monthly budget in mind for something like this. Most of us want to live comfortably, but we also want to live well. Those two things don't always coincide with one another. So most of us say, how low can I get my payment? That's what I'm really shopping here. It's a price tag's fine and all, but I've got $200 a month, for example, and this camper has to fit within that budget. You need to make that happen. Well, the first thing a dealer is going to do is they're going to present to you the most attractive number, which is going to be the longest term payment, which gives you the lowest dollar payment. I have no shame in telling you that that's exactly what we're going to do because that's what customers have asked us to do. I'm not doing it to trick you. I'm doing it to fulfill your request. I have no problem. And actually, my own personal customers, a lot of times I will crunch payment numbers on like a 5, 10, 12-year note. Like, hey, just so that you can kind of see the slide rule of where this can be here. So your maximum term in RV finance is not like auto finance. In auto finance, you're 5, 6, I don't know, 7 years, some of these things. But RVs, it's a totally different type of finance. Take everything you know about auto finance and get rid of it. The terms, the payments, the everything is different. This is a totally different thing because this is a want, not a need. The whole finance thing changes. What your maximum term is based upon the principal you're financing. Now, different lenders have different breakpoints, but generally speaking, $10,000 is the breakpoint to achieve a 10-year note or 120 months. $15,000 to finance tends to be about a 12-year breakpoint, most lenders. Over 25,000 tends to get you into a 180-month note, which is 15 years. There are abilities to get 20-year RV loans on higher sums. I generally try to refrain from my customers looking into those because you start paying on so much interest and so little principal. But that's your discretion. I'll give you the choice. I'll put the numbers on paper. I'll give you my experience, but I'll let you make that call. So let's say your loan can qualify for a 15-year note, and that keeps your payment about $250 a month, for example. Is that the right choice for you? What are the positives and negatives? Because there are positives and negatives both ways, just like almost everything else in this business. You've noticed a trend if you've seen more of my videos. Well, by having a lower payment with almost every lender, and with literally every lender we're associated with, you can blow that sucker out of the water early and save so much. Like, I think we have maybe one lender that has any level of prepayment penalty, but it's like $200 or $300 just to process your account, essentially. If you look at an amortization schedule and you see how many thousands or tens of thousands you didn't just pay, you're not going to call it a prepayment penalty. You're going to call it a prepayment luxury. But my point is, if you keep the term long, you keep your payment low, you keep a little more money in your pocket. You retain the ability to pay it off early. Never a bad idea. Never. You also retain the ability to pay early and ahead month to month and then scale back if money comes in a little short one month or maybe around Christmas. You're like, instead of, paying $400 a month on the camper, I only want to do $250. Great, that's not a bad plan. And for some folks, you're like, listen, I don't care. I want to go camping. I've got $178 a month I can budget. Great. Do whatever you got to do. Go have fun. I'm giving you advice. These are your decisions to make. But a lot of people don't know about this. That's why you come to dealers. I want to educate you. I want you to buy from us because you choose to, not because you have to. You have to be confident to trust me with a lot of money. Let's not mince words, guys. There's a cheaper way to spend a Saturday night, but this is a lot of fun, and this is something you can have and you do long term. But so what if you choose to go to a 12-year loan instead of a 15? Your payment might go from 250 to, I don't know, 290, 310, something like that. You're paying more per month, but you're now back at an equity point several years sooner. And everybody thinks, oh no, I'm going to be the one that keeps this thing for the longest of times. And maybe you are. Awesome. I'm super stoked for you, buddy. But here's the thing. The average time of ownership in this business is 2.5 years. And people finance these things for 10, 12, 15 years. You are not at an equity point. I don't care what you bought. You financed it for that kind of period. You flip it over after 2.5 years, you're not at an equity point. You're now going to take some of that money and roll it over onto the next one. Hopefully you put money down. Oh my gosh, that's another video I need to do. It just hit me. You should put money down on a loan. I'll get to that in a second. I'm just going to wrap it into this one so we can do it all in one shot. If you choose to go even shorter term, if you go less than 10 years, you can now actually start to get even better interest rates. The interest rates right now, you guys have to understand. 10 years ago, the interest rates were like 8, 9%, and that was the ace rate. Right now, people get approved at like 5.5%, and they're like, I should be getting a better rate than that. Are you absolutely kidding me? It's like borrowing money from your uncle right now. If you're going to get a camper, man, oh my God, this is such a good time to do it. And the interest rates this year, at the time of this filming, they're going to go up little by little, but you're going to watch those start to creep up. So be cognizant of that. You know, take all the time you need, but need all the time you take. That's always my message to people all the time. But like, especially you get into a 5-year loan on an RV, and you can get some very aggressive interest rates all of a sudden. That means you're going to have a pretty hefty payment. But if you're that person that trades off your camper after 2.5 years, you now have equity back in your pocket. Instead of inequity, you're rolling over onto the next trailer. I don't like inequity. I don't like carryover. You don't like that either. It's a necessary part of what I have to do here every day, though. Sometimes you do that. So let's talk down payments. You come to me. You want to finance something 0 down? Great. We can do it. We absolutely will. Understand that can affect your interest rate. And I'm not going to tell you it's going to affect it by 5% or something stupid like that. But understand what an interest rate represents. The word interest. What does the word interest mean? The bank has an interest in your thing. Your interest rate is that banker's assessment of risk on your loan. If you have money down, you put some skin in the game, they know you're not going to walk away from that. People don't just walk away from $2,500 down or whatever. You're going to find a way to pay that thing. You know, they feel a lot more comfortable with that. Money down buys your interest rate. It is no different than like buying a house. You want to buy a house? They expect you to have a chunk of money down, don't they? Isn't that why sometimes people have to have home equity loans so that you can have a 10, 20% down payment, even though you're taking a loan out to do it? Camping is the same way, guys. It is so similar in that regard. It's not even funny. Your rates and your terms calculate totally differently, but the way the lender comes about that is the same. Their assessment of risk. So pay yourself and buy a better interest rate, because the money you put down, what that will save you on an amortization schedule, which if you don't know what that means, Google that, okay, amortization schedule. If not, call me and I'll walk you through it. You will save more than you put down. You will pay yourself back for that money over the course of that loan. For sure. It just will happen. You know, it's like that old example. If you want to buy a flat screen TV with 0 down and whatever percent interest rate, and that $1,000 TV ends up costing you $2,300 when you're done, it can be the exact same way. So, you know, if you want to have the money back in your pocket, back in your control sooner than later, do what you can comfortably accommodate on a shorter term and comfortably put down what money you can. And that's the best financial advice I can give you when you're purchasing an RV. These things are lots of fun. and I want you to have it for a long time. And if you choose to swap something out, I want you to be in a happy, comfortable position to come back here. And I want you to understand that we help set you up for that. You know, remember that we're the place that helped get you there, and that we're a place that you can trust with that investment. That's part of the reason we have these huge service centers and big bays and service staff here, so we can take care of you. We're not just a buy it and fly it store. I don't like that. No knock against Walmart, but you buy a lawnmower at Walmart, they ain't gonna fix it. You know, we fix it, we make it right, but we hope you get into it right from the start. Wow, this went on a lot longer than I thought, but hopefully you guys found this useful. So give us a call, 800-256-5196, HaylettRV of Coldwater, Michigan. Take care, stay safe, have fun, happy camping, everyone.